Hi, and welcome to Canine Wellness Online. Today, I want to talk to you about one thing you should never do with your puppy, and that is playing ball. And why, you ask? Well, stay tuned and I'll explain and provide safe ways to tire out your new puppy to avoid injuries when they're young and arthritis when they're old. So here's Sam. He's now 5 months old and full of energy. And we all know a tired puppy is a happy owner. But how do we do it without playing ball? Well, first, ball is fine, but there has to be some rules about how we play with our puppy and even older dogs. Throwing the ball or using a chuck it, which I think is man's worst invention, as far as you can, while your puppy's joints are developing, can lead to soft tissue injuries or arthritis in the later years. I can tell you that with over 20 years experience in canine physio for dogs, 85% of my clients come in with either knee issues, shoulder issues, or in the later years, arthritis in the carpal joint or wrist. And after many years of looking at these dogs and how they play ball, I've come to the realization that it is really a repetitive strain injury. So my goal is to help you try and prevent this. And I understand you can play ball or frisbee. It's just how you play to make it less injurious to your dog's joints. So if you look at this dog playing, look at how he runs, and the ball is unpredictable. So what happens is the dog tries to go for it. The ball isn't quite where he thought. The dog slides forward. The front legs jam forward. And then you see the back legs follow and then slide out to the side. And as he turns, and this dog wants to turn to the right, and so over time, that's going to put strain on the right joints in the right and also the hind leg. And then if you add to that some slippery grass, well, that's just not good news. When we think about a puppy has, its bones are not fully developed, so they're not as strong as an older dog. And also when we think about all their tendons and ligaments, they haven't fully developed. And we add in repetitive throwing of something, it can really start doing some micro injuries, something you won't see but will present itself when your dog is older. Typically when I see ball dogs, well, I call them ball dogs, but when I see them, they're about 2 years old with one injury or another. So how can you tire out your puppy with a ball or a frisbee? Well, you can play, but there are sort of rules. So with a frisbee, as an example, with my dog, Ben, when I play with him, what I do is I'm usually on a trail of some kind. I don't stand in one spot and just keep throwing it ad nauseum. What I do is I walk, I throw it, and I try to keep it at his head height, as this video shows you here, so that he's running forward. He's not really jumping too far off the ground. He grabs a frisbee and keeps going forward. He's not turning to the side. When it comes to a ball, especially the puppy, I wouldn't recommend throwing it at all. In this video I show you, I kind of roll it along the ground and let him get the ball. And if you look here at this video, he ran to get the ball and he kind of slid, and because they're not that coordinated at this young age, he kind of slips. He actually rolls over, and I don't want him to injure himself. I want to keep him as long as I can, as injury free as I can, for as long as I can. Last and not least, 2 important things to remember when you're playing anything, any sport, ball, whatever it is. Number 1 is a 5 to 10 minute cool down, where you're just letting your dog walk, sniff, smell, whatever, pee mail, and also provide water on a hot day, because your dog does need to get hydrated. Not too much water, especially if you have a larger breed, because they are sweating through their tongue, and when their tongue is hanging out to the side of their mouth, it means that they're in need of some water. And last, a little bonus tip. One of the things I do with my dog, because I have access to the lake, is I play frisbee along the shoreline. And the reason I like this is because the sand has some give to it. So if I'm throwing the ball, I try to throw it in the water. Okay, I'm not that great at it, but I throw it. And you can see in this video, he's jumping up for the toy, but he's landing and there's give to the surface, which is less injurious to his joints. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video coming up next Saturday. And don't forget to subscribe and like.